Will anxiety ever go away? This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to answer that question as well as I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage and even overcome anxiety. So in terms of if anxiety will ever go away, the short answer is probably not completely. And so when I say overcome anxiety, I don't mean that it will never happen. I simply mean that you will have the tools to handle it, to get past it, and to move on with your day, your week, your life, however you want to look at it. What's important is that when anxiety comes, that you have a plan to address it and that you have become stronger by some of the things that I talk about in terms of dealing with anxiety, but also in going through it and being able to remember that you came out on the other side of it and that it went away. Part of dealing with anxiety is believing that it will pass, that it will go away, that this is not a permanent feeling that you're going to have. And if we can break that pattern, if we can interrupt what you're feeling, then it's going to be much easier for you to move on with your day where you feel less or even no anxiety for that day. But having some anxiety is a normal part of life. It's designed to make you focus on something, to tell you something is wrong, and even to give you more energy, more physical ability to handle anxiety. And that's where oftentimes it's misplaced, because a lot of times that anxiety is not something that is an immediate threat like a bear or a snake or some sort of monster attacking you. That doesn't mean that there's not health issues or something like that that you're worried about. But the anxiety is there to create that sense of fight or flight, that you need to do something. So it's like a fuel. That feeling is, I need to do something. And we can use that. The knowledge that that is happening is actually quite powerful because you can have a conversation with yourself. And usually this conversation is best when you use it in addition to the 5 things that I'm going to tell you that can help you to get that under control. But basically you're going to tell yourself, there's no monster, there's no bear, I don't have to run from anything, I'm not in immediate danger. And so that's when you would go into the first thing I'm going to tell you that will help you with your anxiety. And I talk about this a lot, but it's breathing, and not just any kind of breathing, but slow breathing. That's how you can really try to slow everything down. Even the world around you, it will feel like it slows down if you breathe slowly. And it's a great thing because it's something you can control. And you will be amazed that if you try to breathe deeply and slowly, that you will feel much better. In fact, it's a lot like a secret weapon. When I do feel anxiety, when I'm worried about someone I love or a certain situation, the state of the world, whatever, I will slow my breathing down. I will breathe until I feel like I can't inhale anymore. I'll hold it, and then I will very slowly let the air creep out. And sometimes I have to actually kind of breathe faster to get some of my air back because maybe I went a little bit too slow. But that's okay because I feel better anyway. Even if you're too slow with it, it's okay to be too slow. You want to be sitting down, but sometimes you have to do it when you're standing up. But if you can have a seat, it's even better. But breathing is one of the most underrated things that you can do for yourself and for your anxiety. And sometimes people will even say, wow, it completely went away. But one of the problems there is thinking it will never come back, because when it does come back, when something happens or when you just kind of have to think about this particular situation again, then you can be really disappointed and down on yourself and thinking, I thought it was gone, but now it's back. So don't tell yourself it'll never come back. The better thing to do is to tell yourself, when it does, I have a plan for it. I know how to take care of it. I know how to help myself, and I know how to get past it. Number 2 is to hyper focus on something. That can be a book, a movie. Maybe you're watching a game. Maybe you're looking at the details of a painting. Maybe you're listening to music. There's all kinds of things that you can do, but try to give something your undivided attention and push those thoughts away. It's a lot easier than just fighting the anxiety and fighting the negative thoughts you're having. If you actually have a diversion, somewhere else to focus, it's easier to push those aside because you can actually distract yourself as you get involved or as you begin to look at the finer details of something. It's a great way to change your focus, lower that cortisol, and basically be able to train your mind to focus on something else other than the anxiety, to detach from the anxiety and to put all that energy and that focus onto something else. So try to find something that will distract you. It may sound oversimplified, and it is a simple concept, but it's amazing what it will do, especially when you combine it with the breathing. You work on slow breathing, deep breathing, and then you add something to distract you and to focus you on something else. Some of the people I've worked with have actually said they forget what they were even worrying about. And that's a great thing. Don't go through that mental game, by the way, of trying to remember what you were worrying about. People will do that. When you have that thought, wasn't I worried about something? Just tell yourself, I'm focused on this right now, and I'm not going to choose to worry. It may not be something that you can do right away, but say it. Fake it till you make it, because you will be giving your brain instructions and messages, and eventually it will have some impact. The third thing I'm going to talk about is to review your plan. So whatever plan you have, and maybe that's over a relationship, it's over a health issue, it's over a money issue, it's over something having to do with some social things that you're worried about, having to interact with someone or having a conversation with someone. Make a plan, write it down, and remind yourself of that plan. Because a lot of times you will have a really good plan, and you basically allow the anxiety to cause you to forget that you have a plan. And then when you go over the plan, you realize, I've actually thought this through, and this is a pretty good plan. So remind yourself, this is not just up in the air. You're not just surrendering to chance here, but you do have a plan, and you are going to be doing things to make the situation go as smoothly as possible, or to make it where things go as you want them to. You're going to be putting that effort in. So you don't have to have this anxiety, because you have a plan and you're going to put effort toward that. And so the anxiety is something within us that's trying to urge us to take action about it. But since you have a plan, and it's not time yet to implement that, then you're okay. And say those things to yourself. Say, I'm okay, I have a plan. You may have to say it several times while breathing deeply and focusing on something else if you have to. Do all of these things like you're piling rocks on a roof that you want to collapse. You want to collapse this house of anxiety, so to speak, with as many things as you can. Before I get to number 4, take a quick second and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And also take a look at my support community, where people who are going through anxiety and have found ways to overcome it can be there to support you, listen to you, maybe have ideas that you can try. It's a great thing. It's a support community that I have. I will link to it in the description below, or you can go to lovedynamics.com, because all of life is love. lovedynamics.com. Number 4 is actually pretty fascinating to me, and it's taking a walk. Ideally, it would be a walk for at least half an hour, but there are legitimate medical studies that show that taking a walk is actually as effective as anxiety medication. Now, obviously, I can't speak to every situation, and I'm not telling you to stop any kind of medication. You need to speak to your doctor, but that is a medical study. It's one of theirs, and it says that taking a walk is actually equal to anxiety medication. So something you can talk to your doctor about, and maybe you could start lowering a dosage and trying that under your doctor's supervision, of course. But just know that taking a walk, whether you stop your medication or not, can actually help you tremendously. And people, again, are astonished at how much this helps. They'll say, I took a walk, about 45 minutes later, the anxiety was just gone, and I felt better the rest of the day. I hear that a lot. I hear it too much not to mention it. Number 5 is to make light of it. That means joke about it. Say, things are going according to plan. Or this is going to be awesome. Just things like that, where you kind of sound sarcastic and silly, and it kind of brings a smile to your face. And this can be really effective if you have a friend who's maybe struggling with you, or just knows that you're struggling. You two can joke back and forth with each other. And I talk about that in some of my other videos here on this channel. So the question of, will anxiety ever go away? It might seem that way, but it actually won't. But you can get stronger in dealing with it, and you can understand how you respond and know what to do. And that's almost like it's completely gone. And that's what I wish for you. Thank you for subscribing. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.